So I'm just going to quickly say this again. Tonight, we're going to be working on the fear of failure. We're going to turn that fear of failure into an ally, into a friend for you, because it's in that moment of failure where we grow as a human being. I'm going to give you a brief description of how a phobia is developed. A very brief description. It's my layman's terms of how this happens. There is a part of our brains called the amygdala, and in a human being, it's about as big as an almond. And every bit of information that comes through our senses passes through the amygdala first before it reaches the frontal lobe, where we make a decision whether it's dangerous or not. I like to think of the amygdala like a gatekeeper. Everything that's ever hurt you, everything that's ever frightened you, everything that's ever caused you grief in your life is stored in the amygdala. If you imagine, it's like, you're younger, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about, like a filofax. It's got a file of everything that ever hurt you. And when something comes in through your senses, it goes through this file and it pattern matches with that fear or that anxiety. And then it makes your conscious mind aware of it. And so sometimes, let's imagine you're walking down a dark alley and you hear a rustle in the bushes, straight away your heart starts to pump and your body's flooded with adrenaline until your conscious mind goes, well, it's a dustbin bag flapping in the bushes there. But the amygdala will immediately get you ready to run or fight. So that's how it works. It runs our fight or flight response. And it happens in pictures, and it happens in all of your senses. So if a dog jumps up and bites you, the moment you feel the pain and you see the dog, everything about that dog is laid down as a template. The smell, the sound, the pain, and the sight of that dog. And it's done in a millisecond. And then for the rest of your life, the amygdala is scanning the environment. I think it looks like a dog, so you don't get hurt again. It's like a one-stop learning. Now that works with physical pain, but it also works with emotional pain. So if as a child, you've tried to do something at school and it doesn't matter what age you are, or even if you're a teenager or an adult, and you do try to do something and you fail at it, that is an emotional pain. And like with the dog biting you, in that instant, you won't say it consciously, but you'll say, remind me, I never want to feel like that again. And in that moment, if you like, you create a part of you that's then protecting you. So it's running this protective mechanism. And as I said, it works in milliseconds. So anything after that will remind you of it. So that tonight, just before Helena's presentation, I was speaking to a friend. She's a hypnotherapist, and she had an experience when she was younger she was acting, and she kind of dried up. I don't know what they call it when you do that on stage. I'm sure Giselle will tell us, but it's that moment when you just forget your lines and you don't know what to say next. And I can imagine that's kind of a horrible experience. But now she's doing hypnotherapy and she doesn't want to come off script, even though she knows she can do it. It's that fear that she felt when she was younger on stage that's kind of stopping her. Even though she's saying, I'm going to do it, there's a part of her going, well, what if? And it stopped her from doing it. Now she can, hopefully, because we did this work today earlier. So that's how it works. And in that moment, you create that part of you that's running that protective mechanism. So when we do this work in a while, and I hypnotize you all, I am going to speak directly to the part of you that's running that protective mechanism, and it will communicate in some way. And I don't know how, you don't know how, because it's an unconscious part of your being, but it'll communicate in some way. And the first thing I'm going to do is ask it to explain what it's doing for you. And it's obvious it's trying to keep you safe and well. But I'm going to ask the question anyway. I'm then going to ask it to go to your creative mind, the part of you that dreams and has ideas and makes plans, and allow your creative mind to run and flow and work and come up with lots of new choices, other ways of keeping you safe and protected, because it's not going to give that job up, but at the same time allowing you the freedom from the irrational fear and anxiety of failure. Allow you the natural concern. So if you're learning something or you're doing an important job, and I would consider being a therapist as an important job, you put in the work and you put it in the study. But once you've done that you can release that fear of failure and just be in that room as a human being. So providing your creative mind come up with some new choices, and I've never known anyone who can't, I'm going to ask that part that runs that protective mechanism to pick one of those new choices, the one that it believes, because I know this sounds strange. It's not what you believe. It's not what you think. It's what that part that's running that protective mechanism thinks. The one that it believes is the most immediate, available, and effective, that's going to keep you safe and protected, but allow you the freedom from the irrational fear and anxiety of failure. I'm then going to ask it to take that new choice and integrate it into your body and your mind. And when that happens, I promise you, you'll be unable to experience any of those irrational fears of failure. And think about this, how your life's going to open up from today. Because so much of our life is restricted by that fear. And you're going to be free of it today. And you're going to start to think, what do I want? How do I want to feel? What do I want to achieve? And then just do it without any of that fear of what happens if I don't do it. And you're going to grow as a person once you do this, because it's in that moment of failure when you grow, when we learn. And it doesn't have to be painful, because we're not going to look at it as pain anymore. We're going to look at it as an experience. And again, you know, through the weeks, when you're going about your day, when you come against a block like that, when you think, oh, what if I fail at it? I'm going to keep asking you the same question. Ask yourself the same question. When did I decide? When did I make that decision that this was scary or dangerous? How old was I? Where was I? Who was I with? Was it even my decision? You know, or as someone, my friend said earlier today, when did I decide to have that experience? And look at it again. And if, because you've evolved, and you have over these years, and because you've grown as a person, as a being, if that decision is no longer viable or it's obsolete, you're going to do what we taught you the other day and just blink twice and delete it and make a new decision from where you are now. And I promise you, and I mean this sincerely, your life is going to change. You'll realize you had much more control of you than you ever dreamed you had. Much more control of your emotions, much more control of everything in your life, because you can look at it again, because none of this stuff, as I said the other day, exists outside of your skull except as perception. And you then the question comes down, does this thought empower me or not? Is what I'm feeling empowering me or not? And if it comes back, it's not, then delete it and think about where you want to be. And recognize that none of those things are real. Whether you think you can or whether you can't, you're right. So that's what we're going to do. And I want you to have a big experience here tonight. Some of you will have a big experience. We're going to go back on gallery view so I can see you all. As I said, you can view me, or you can view the gallery, but I'm going to view the gallery so I can see every one of you. All right, so you've all put a number in the chat box. That's going to change in a while. So let me see if there's any more questions or anything here. Has anyone got any questions before we get started tonight? No? Who asked for my telephone number? No, I'm not giving it to him. But any other questions? No, okay, right, great. Okay. So what I want you to do is look on this as time out for you. Most of you know how to do this now. You're all great subjects. So get yourself comfortable. Look on this as time out. Listen to me if you want, but I don't mean this rudely. I am not interested in your conscious mind. You tried to overcome this consciously, it didn't work. This is an unconscious program that's running. Your unconscious mind will hear everything I've got to say, and it will take from it what's needed for you to free yourself from every last remnant of that fear of failure. And as I'm saying that, I know you're already thinking about the things you're going to do. There are no limits. You know, why have some of us held on to weight when we didn't need to do it? Is it the fear of failure? What if I attempt to lose the weight and I don't do it? How am I going to feel if that happens? But we need to change that. We need to change that question and say, how will I feel when I do achieve it? Because that's the feeling that's going to drive you. And think about that. Keep that thought in your mind, because I promise every single one of you here, you can achieve your physical goals. The question is, how badly do I want it? How bad do I want to feel that good? And then think about how you're going to feel. We're going to do it again tonight. We're going to go out into that future you so you can experience it again. So you know why you're in this group. Whether that's a health thing, a happiness thing, or whether it's just your body creating your own body. But the understanding, and it's a great understanding, I'm sure some of you are coming to over the last couple of weeks, that we can actually create the life we want. We can decide how we want to feel physically, how we want to be happy, how happy we want to be. We can choose, which is a big understanding for a lot of people. We no longer have to be slaves to our emotion, because all of you now know how to go back to neutral. All of you know how to ramp up that feeling that you're going to get when you've achieved your goal. So I want you all to get ready, get comfortable. If you can get really comfortable, that's fine. Let's have some time together today just to bliss out and change that, eradicate that fear of failure tonight. I'm going to also run what I call the Jacqueline time machine on you. So you may be able to have a look at that moment when you made the decision about the fear of failure, and look at it from where you are now with the strength and the understanding you have now, and take any learnings from it and then let go of that emotion forever. Okay, so be brave. Let's get into this. Once again, take a deep breath in. As you breathe out, allow your eyes to close. And once again, just focus on my voice. And remember those other experiences of hypnosis you've had with me. How it's felt to sit and listen to my voice speaking to you. Remembering the words and the sounds and how it felt as you drifted into that wonderful, deep state of hypnosis. Just for a while. Nobody wants anything. No one expects anything. And there is nothing for you to do but to relax. Remember that experience from last night. How it felt when your arms and your legs and your hands just went heavy, loose and relaxed. That's right. Feel it now. Feel yourself just dropping back into that state, and imagine it's happening automatically. Every word I say just doubles that wonderful feeling. The deeper you go, the better you feel. It's just dropping down through space and time as if space and time no longer exist. That's right, deeper, deeper, deeper down into that feeling. Less and less aware of yourself as a physical being, but more and more aware of yourself as a mind. And that mind begins to separate from your body and drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. Think of that thing you'd love to do, or a way you'd love to feel, whether it's a physical goal or a career goal, personal goal, or all three. But think about how you'd love to feel, how you'd love to look, and see yourself doing that. Notice the way you move and the way you breathe. That feeling of freedom, that feeling of achievement, that feeling of empowerment. Feel it now. Step into that body. Feel what it feels like to achieve that goal. Free of every limitation, free of the fear of failure, knowing it's okay to fail, and feel good about it because you are growing in that moment. There are no limits. The people that love you are going to love you whatever happens. Think about that for a moment. The friends that care about you are going to care about you whatever happens. And with that understanding, you can push everything to failure and use failure as an ally. See it clearly. Look back to now. Notice the things you did along the way, the things you changed, the old redundant decisions that you deleted, any negative limiting beliefs that were placed on you, deleted. Think about it now. And think about how far you've come so far in this last couple of weeks even. The changes you've made in your body, in your mind, the changes in your living. Now that you appreciate your body more and you understand how beautiful you are and how brilliant you are as a person, as a being, Feel that thing of joy flooding your body and your mind even more now. That's right, a total understanding of just how incredible you are. And as you drift deeper and deeper into that wonderful feeling, my voice and my words will drift with you to become a part of your experience now. Every word I say is going to take you even deeper into that feeling. And I want you to enjoy every moment. The deeper you go, the better you feel. And the better you feel, the deeper you'll go. 10, 20, 100 times deeper. Imagine that's happening automatically. Imagine there's nothing you can do about that just for a while. And it's okay to feel that good. And as you drift into that space, everything I say now becomes your reality. Every suggestion I give you, you'll act upon. Mind and body at a molecular, cellular level is now your reality. Because you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. And that unconscious mind, the back of the mind, can continue to hear, to understand and respond to those things I might say without the need for you to do anything at all. It's so much easier for the conscious mind simply to relax and enjoy that letting go. That's right. Letting go even of the effort it takes to make the effort that it might take. To tell the exact position of arms, legs, or the entire body now that seems to drift through time and space. That wonderful free floating place of effortless relaxation and letting go. Allowing events to occur in their own time, in their own way, as you drift as a mind. And that mind drifts without boundaries, without borders, without limits. And the unconscious mind can allow that drifting to occur, while the conscious mind drifts off someplace else entirely now. That's right, in your own time, in your own way, aware of events that occur along the way. As the unconscious mind utilizes that opportunity to alter your awareness and to continue that learning in whatever way is the right way for you. Learning that feeling of letting go. Allowing the unconscious to assume more and more responsibility for guiding, directing awareness as you continue to learn even more than before about your abilities, your capacities to learn as you relax. As you relax and enter into the trance more and more comfortably, more and more effortlessly, more and more completely and deeply than before. I can wonder whether you're aware that you've drifted deeply into hypnosis. And as you drift even deeper, you can use your unconscious mind as a resource you can learn from and really have an experience, one that's satisfactory to you. And all that's needed to build a good rapport with the unconscious is to have a line of communication. Sometimes the unconscious communicates by movement. And it may be that the eye reflex changes and the eyes flicker, or the head moves slightly to indicate yes. Or a muscle twitches involuntarily. That's right, you can try and keep those eyes still, finally flicker even more. It may be that the left hand moves all by itself and starts to feel lighter and lighter, starts to drift up or float up, or the right arm goes even higher. Only the unconscious mind knows which it will use, because your unconscious mind knows more about you than anyone else. And so as you drift deeply into hypnosis, even deeper than before, I'd like your unconscious mind, search through all the things in your life, pick one thing you'd love to do, a way you'd love to feel, something you'd love to achieve, that you haven't achieved because of those doubts and fears about failing. One thing that you'd love to achieve, a way you'd love to feel, something you'd love to do that you haven't achieved yet because of that old fear of failure. When it's found that one thing, I want it to increase those signals. And you will know before I do as the movement continues. I don't know that a left hand, right hand, both hands that start to feel lighter and lighter, start to drift up as the eyes flicker and the body moves, but you'll know before I do as the movement continues. That's right, one thing you'd love to achieve, a way you'd love to feel, a way you'd love to look. When the unconscious mind's found that one thing, I want it to increase those signals. Good. And as that movement continues, I'd like your unconscious mind now to hand those signals to the part of you that is responsible for that protective mechanism, that part of you that makes you aware of everything that could possibly go wrong, that part of you that runs that protective way of looking out for you. And when it's taken full control of those signals, I'd like it to increase those signals so that you and I understand. That's right, head moving, eyes flickering, hands lighter and lighter, body moving. Even if you go deeper, deeper, deeper down into hypnosis, 10, 20, 100 times deeper, every word I say doubles that wonderful feeling of trance. As that movement continues now, I'd like to ask that part, that's right, I'd like to ask that part to explain to you what it is that it's been doing for you for all these years, maybe since you were a child, what the positive intention is. And when you fully understand at whatever level of consciousness what that part has been trying to do, I want it to increase those signals so that you and I understand that you know the reason. Now I'd like to ask that part to go to your creative mind, a part of you that dreams, has ideas, makes plans, and allow that wonderful creative mind to run and flow and work. That's right, head moving, body moving, eyes flickering. Allow that wonderful creative mind to run and flow and work, come up with lots of new choices, new ways of keeping you safe, well, and protected, but at the same time allowing you complete freedom from the irrational fear and anxiety about failure. I'd like that creative mind to come up with some new ways of looking at failure. So you can look at failure as an ally, as a place you want to reach, a place you want to get to, because you know in that moment of failure, you are going to grow as a person. You're going to grow as a therapist. You're going to grow as a being. And notice those changes in your body as those choices become available now. And notice how things pop up. And as they pop up, the negative thoughts, the limiting beliefs that you've had in the past, notice how your eyes twitch and they delete those old imposter syndromes that used to hold you back. And notice how when you look at failure as an ally, as a friend, of someone you want to get to, because you know it's no longer a place to fear. It's a place to look for, to achieve, to work toward, because you want to be the best you can be. You want the body you want. You want the happiness you want. You want the life you want. 10, 20, 100 new choices now. And as that part searches, that chair you're in is a time machine. And you are going to go back through time as if time doesn't exist. But you're going to go back with all the strength you have now, all the understanding you have now, all the love and joy you felt in this group, in this friendship we have here. You're going to go back with all of that love and all of that strength. And you're going to take the energy from everyone in this group, all the 35 people in this group. Feel that energy flooding your body now and that strength. In a moment, I'm going to click my fingers and that chair and you are going to go sucked back through time, back to the very first moment that related to that old fear of failure. And you will remember where you were and you'll remember who you were with. I want you to be brave about this, because this is the last time it's going to affect you. Get ready. You'll remember where you were, remember you're with. Be brave. It's the last time it's going to affect you. And you're back there now. And see that younger you just about to go through that experience for you. Drop down beside them and put your arm around them. And walk that younger you through that experience, knowing you survived it. Walk that younger you through that experience. Tell them everything they need to know for them to be the best person they can be. Tell them everything they need to know for them to achieve their physical goals, their spiritual goals, their emotional goals, their career goals. Tell them everything they need to know with the understanding you have now, with the strength you have now, the love you have now. Take any learnings from that event, store them in that part of your mind. And when you're ready to free yourself forever, to just do fearlessly, to look at failure as a friend, as an ally, that's going to get you to the next level of your life, going to get your body to where you want it to be, to get your emotional life where you want it to be. When you're ready to free yourself to do that, I want to give that younger you a hug. I want you to thank that younger you for going through that experience, tell them you survived it. And if you want, you can pull them into you, merge them with you, so you can take them with you into this new life to create the body you want, create the life you want, create the happiness, the health you want. Pull that younger you into you with all the understandings you have now and merge that younger you with you. And you're going to take that younger you into the next chapter of your life, where you can do things fearlessly, where you can create things you may have never dreamed of before, achieve things you've never dreamed of before, fail at things and know you're growing. Do it now. Pull that younger you into you. Now drift back to your body only as quickly as you can reevaluate every subsequent event that led to now. And as you see those limiting beliefs holding you back, those times when you had that fear of failure and it pops up in a millisecond, and delete it, maybe 10, 100, 1,000 times in your life when you've not achieved something or never attempted something because of that fear of failure. And as those memories pop up, delete, 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 delete. Imagine it's just, you're doing that's right, you're doing a defrag on your computer, deleting all those useless cookies, all of those useless programs, all of those things that have been put in the back of your mind over the years. As you drift back to your body and drop into your body, go even deeper into trance, only as quickly as you can reevaluate every subsequent event that led to now. And feel that your brain clearing, feel your body clearing, feel your whole being freeing as you delete, delete, delete all of those times in your life when you let the fear of failure overcome you. That's right. Now I'd like to ask that part that runs that protective mechanism. Pick one of the new choices, the one that it believes will keep you safe and protected, but allow you complete freedom from that old imagined fear of failure, because now you're going to look on it as a friend. And when it's done that, made that choice, I want it to increase those signals for you so that you understand. Good. And now I'd like to ask that part that runs that protective mechanism, integrate this new choice, this new understanding, this new way of thinking into your body and your mind at a molecular, cellular, and neurological level. And when it's done that completely, I want it to increase those signals. And notice as that's happening, how your body is responding to that new freedom. You can feel it. A fearlessness you may have never experienced before, a feeling of courage flooding your body and your mind. Think about this group and think about the energy from these 35 people in this group, all wanting everyone else to achieve what they want. Feel the strength of that energy flooding your body and your mind now like a nuclear power. And with that energy, there is nothing we cannot achieve, nothing we cannot do. I'd like to thank that part that runs that protective mechanism for looking after you and making those changes now. And from today, no matter how hard you try, you will never be able to look at failure in the same way. From today, you'll be looking for that moment of failure, knowing that it's in that moment that you're going to grow. It's in that moment you're going to expand as a person, as a being. From today, no matter how hard you try, you will never experience those irrational fears and anxieties again. I know you're going to enjoy being happily unconcerned, unable to remember to be afraid of failure. Because now you're going to enter every day knowing that failure is your friend. Failure is your ally. Failure is where you grow. And failure is going to get you to where you want to be. Because it's in that moment that we learn. It's in that moment that we grow. It may be interesting for you to think about what you've experienced this evening. The thoughts, the understandings, the learnings. How are you going to use these things from one day to the next? Because you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. Those two minds will learn from your experiences here today. Some things that you can utilize to deal more effectively with those things that had been a problem for you before. These words will resonate in your mind and in your body. Our doubts are traitors. They make us lose that which we oft should win by fearing to attempt. There is a life to be had. There's incredible things to achieve. Now that we're free to be. It may be interesting to know that in that relaxed, drifting state of mind, where thoughts drift by like dreams, some enter the mind, some drift through the mind, some are left behind to be used later on, others are remembered or seem to be remembered at first, but then become more and more distant, forgotten over time. And this entire experience may seem so far away, like a dream you had, that you wanted to tell someone about, and then it just disappeared. As the unconscious mind protects the conscious mind, leaves those things behind, forgotten but remembered too. Time changes too, so you'll know what a trance it's been when you begin to know that what seemed to be a short time turned out to be a long time, or what seemed a long time was really no time at all. And so as you drift in that wonderful, profound state of hypnosis, go with your unconscious often as you need to know that you're free. See yourself out there, achieving the things you want to achieve, doing it fearlessly. See yourself creating the body you want and doing it fearlessly. See yourself achieving the life you want and doing it fearlessly. Because no matter how hard you try, you'll never experience that fear and anxiety again. And the harder you try and remember what it felt like, the more courageous, the more fearless you become. Only when the unconscious mind knows and has made those changes completely and allows the conscious mind to accept the changes made. Because in a moment, I'm going to count to 10. Every suggestion I've given you, your mind and body will act upon at a molecular, cellular, neuron level. Is now your reality. On 8, your eyes will open. You're going to feel incredible. And on 10, that fearlessness, that steely determination and joy in creating your own life and knowing you can do it, it's going to grow stronger day by day. Get ready. 1, feeling absolutely wonderful. 2, to achieve what you want to achieve, do that fearlessly. 3, feeling freedom from every limiting belief that ever held you back. 4, feel the force of that love, energy and power flooding your body and your mind. 5, feeling incredibly alive. 6, 7, 8, eyes opening, feeling absolutely incredible. 9, 10. Excellent. So I want you to think about that thing you've been putting off or the thing you feared doing. Try and feel that fear now and find you cannot. And on a scale of 1 to 10, put that number, those zeros in that chat box. Try and feel it. Find you cannot. On a scale of 1 to 10, where's that fear of failure gone now? Excellent. Excellent. Good, good, good. Loads of zeros, a few 2s, 1s. Excellent. Okay. Because you've got it. You know, we can attempt to do anything. And when we have a piece of cake, instead of looking at it as failure, it's in that moment we grow quite literally actually, but we don't want to grow in that way. We want to grow as a person, not outwardly, physically. So, you know, it's those moments. I understand we're human beings. We are at times we're going to fail. But instead of looking at it as something bad, look at it as a place where we're going to grow, learn, and grow as a person. Look at it as your ally. We should be working towards it. We should be looking to find it. Think about that. Instead of fearing it, look to find it. How far can I push my body in this quest to have the body I want before I fail? Because it's that moment you're going to grow. You're going to be where you want to be. Let go of all your limitations. You're doing it anyway over these last few days as we work together, and we're going to continue. You know, you've got me till the 31st of December, if you want. Okay. So again, I've got a few people that have given me suggestions for different things they want to work on. And I will work that into these Freddy's daily what's names. So, you know, keep the ideas coming in. Anything you want to do. I know as we get through it, it'll just hypnotize me, Freddy, because I'm perfect now. I haven't got any fear. I'm losing the weight. I don't need anything else. I just want to be hypnotized because I'm now a hypno junkie. And then on the 1st of January, I will put out, I'll run a group. It's going to be very expensive to help you with your hypno addiction. So I'm going to make you into addicts over the next few days. And then I'm going to charge you a lot of money to release you from it. So, okay, well, look, thanks for joining me this evening. It's been great. And thanks for for supporting me and supporting my work and each other. And feel that energy we've got in this little group of ours. It's up to about 250, 260 people in our Create the Body Facebook group. And I'm hoping everyone's enjoying it. We've got, tomorrow we've got Sandra Grace, you know, a friend of mine. She's fantastic. We had Helena today. She was a joy. Wasn't she, Jackie? She was an absolute joy, wasn't she? Helena.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And so, you know, I'm lining people up, twisting people's arms to do presentations for us over the next few weeks. We've got, you know, we've got all these people doing this stuff for us. Jessica's going to continue to teach us kickboxing. My legs have grown about an inch since yesterday with all the stretching and stuff. And, you know, who knows, I might reach, you know, a kind of sensible height by the time Jessica's finished with me. But we're going to keep working together. We've got Tatiana on Thursday morning, if you can make it. And then we've got Marina going to do some Zumba with us at some point in the week. So let's keep working together. Look, Greta can't even sit still. Just the thought of belly dancing and she's off. There was a time when she wouldn't dance in public. Now she can't stop. So look, let's all work together, have some joy together and keep working together, okay? Thanks again for joining me. Wherever you are in the world, whatever time it is, enjoy, and I'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you, Freddy.
Zoom wave, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, and just go for it. After today, look for that moment of failure and see how much you're going to enjoy it. Take care. See you soon.
Thank you,
Thank you, Freddy.
Bye.